Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and today is the first video in a series called The 12 Skills Everyday Cooks Need to Have. Now, some of these things are things I have never done before, and some of them are going to be things that I do quite often, but I'm surprised when people say that they've never done it before. So I thought that this would be a great way to kind of make my skills in the kitchen a little bit better and to share the adventure with you. The first skill is poaching eggs. Now, before today, I had never poached an egg before, but earlier today, I tried out a few of the ways that I saw on the internet, and I found the best way that I think is gonna work for you and I, the everyday cook. And it's a lot less scary than you think it is. Actually, it's a lot less scary than I thought it was. So without further ado, let's get started on this recipe. Now, to use the poached eggs, we're gonna actually make Eggs Benedict. Yes, Eggs Benedict. And technically, this could be two skills that everybody needs to know, poaching eggs and making a Hollandaise sauce, which is tempering eggs. I've never done either of those before today, so this will be a sure adventure. So are you ready to get started? Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need English muffins, large eggs, and Canadian bacon. For the Hollandaise sauce, you're going to need 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 egg yolks, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice or lime juice, 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, and salt and pepper to taste. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna start our butter melting. Okay, I'm gonna turn on our burner to about medium, which I'm gonna say is about 200 degrees or so. And then we're gonna let the butter start to melt. And while that's starting to melt, it's gonna not take very long at all. In fact, I may have to turn it down just a little bit because that melted rather fast. Let's go ahead and turn it off for a second. And we'll just let it sit there because that was starting to melt real fast. So maybe put it on low. It's a really powerful burner. Meanwhile, we're gonna put in our egg yolks and we're gonna give them a good mix. And then we're gonna add in our heavy cream and our lemon juice or lime juice, whichever one you have. I'm just gonna give that a good mix. And then as soon as this is melted, let's go ahead and turn it back on, but this time I'm gonna turn it on low. Now, Hollandaise sauce is basically just what you have in this bowl, and we're gonna temper it with that butter right there. So it's very important that we add the butter very, very slowly, or else it will curdle the eggs. So just be patient, and if you curdle the eggs a little bit, I've seen a trick. You can actually sieve the Hollandaise sauce through a sieve, and then it gets all those egg bits out of it, but hopefully we won't curdle it. Like I said, I've never done this one before, so it should, I mean, like, I don't know, I should do okay. I'm reading the directions. In fact, this recipe comes from tastebetterfromscratch.com, and it had great reviews, so I feel real confident that we can get this done. And I've never wanted to make a Hollandaise sauce because tempering eggs sounds tricky, but her directions for this recipe looked so easy that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And then of course we're gonna poach the eggs, but anyway, I'll stop chatting. Okay, so while it's almost fully melted, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the burner for a moment. And what we're going to do is we're gonna incorporate 1 spoonful, I'm gonna set it over here so I don't burn that thing though, 1 spoonful of butter at a time. And we're just going to continue to add little bits of the butter. In fact, I think I'm just gonna use the pan to pour it in because I don't have another hand. And as long as you're just adding in a little bit at a time, it should work out just fine. Yeah, just a little bit of a time so that you don't cook those eggs too rapidly. We're just tempering them, which basically means we're cooking them, but we're cooking them to a different emulsification, or we're cooking them to a different level of doneness. And it should be sweet and creamy and delicious. If you've ever had Eggs Benedict before, you know that that sauce is so rich on the toast and dumped over those eggs. It's quite fascinating, really. Whew, looks silky smooth. Look at that. Okay. When you are sure that all of that has been incorporated, we are going to get this back on the heat for just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it on my lowest setting possible on this burner, and we're gonna get this back in for just 30 to 60 seconds. Now, I don't know what we're waiting for exactly. It just said cook it for 30 to 60 seconds. So here we go. All right. And I'm using the sauce whisk from Pampered Chef. I absolutely love this whisk, especially for doing sauces, but it can also be used for anything else that you need to whisk and keep off the bottom of your pan. It's fantastic. Okay, that is 30 seconds. So I'm gonna call that done. And we're gonna go ahead and get it back into this bowl so that it doesn't continue to cook. But at this point, it is so silky smooth that I think I did it right. Skill number half, done. All right, we're gonna go ahead and set that aside, and now we are gonna get some water to boiling. Okay, I read and watched a ton of things in regards to poaching eggs, and the most important thing that I saw was you won't need the vinegar and you won't need to stir this pot if you remember two very important things. And I did test this out before we did this video because I didn't want to look like an idiot. And I really feel like I should have been recording because I was really fascinating at that this actually worked and that I got poached eggs so easily. Now, before we get the eggs in there, we need to get everything else ready to go. So let's go ahead and toast up our English muffins and get our Canadian bacon and our plate ready, because once they're done, and it only takes 3 minutes to poach an egg in boiling water, we're gonna be ready to serve. So let's go ahead and get everything else ready. Okay, now it's very important that you have a paper towel handy, because this paper towel is going to help you whenever you dip out that egg. The other thing you're going to need is a slotted spoon. And here is the first tip that ensures your perfect poached egg every time. The tip is to strain your egg. I know that sounds really weird, but just stick with me for a second. So our water's already boiling, and that's amazing. You don't need any vinegar for it. I know some people say put vinegar in your water to help, I don't even know what. Don't. You don't need it. So what we're going to do is we are going to crack our egg right inside our little sieve here. And everything that comes off of the egg, do you see that? That is actually that stuff that makes the egg all stringy and gross. Not that it's gross, but it just makes it a little stringy. So if you can sieve your egg like this, and the strings don't matter very much, but if you can sieve your egg like that, it'll make the perfect poached egg. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead and stick it right into a bowl, and I'm gonna do my next one and let it all of the watery stuff drain off. It preserves the hard white, because there's actually 3 parts to the egg. There's the egg yolk, the egg white, and then the kind of whites that are around the outside that make it all messy. So if you can do that, that's your first tip to make your eggs beautiful. The second tip is to make sure your water is boiling rapidly. So here we go. We have 1 egg and it's white that has been sieved and separated, and we're just gonna drop it right inside the bubbliest part of your saucepan. Okay, that's it. You don't need to stir it. You don't need to do anything else, because the rapid boiling is going to turn that egg and stir it all by itself. It's gonna take 3 minutes for the perfect egg. And our toast is done. Let's go ahead and get the other egg in on the other side of the pan. So that's it. Don't touch it. Don't do anything. Now, if you stick it in there and it's not boiling like this, there is a chance that it will stick to the bottom of your pan. Ask me how I know. I know. And if it does that, just take your spoon and kind of dislodge it a little bit. And just definitely try again if you keep messing up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our muffins ready. So I'm gonna put some Canadian bacon right on our muffins, like so. I know you can't see the eggs in there in the close camera, but they're in there and they're gonna be beautiful when they come out. That's it. Now I just have to wait. Just be patient. Trust the process. And you definitely don't have to do the sieving. It just makes it kind of like a cleaner egg. You'll see when I dump it out what I mean by a cleaner egg. It just doesn't have all those little bits all over the place. And you can definitely poach your egg for up to 5 minutes, but we like the 3-minute. All right, let's take out our 3-minute poached egg. And what we're going to do is we are going to drop it right on our plate because we kind of want to get some of that water off of it because we definitely don't want to put it on our biscuit all kind of watery. All right, and egg number 2 is ready to come out. And as you can see, that one kind of fluffed up a little bit more, but look at that. 2 beautifully poached eggs, and now the other 2 are ready to go in. And I usually don't stick in the second egg until the first one has really congealed and is ready to, you know, looks like one whole form. And you see how it's like rolling and boiling? That's what stirring it would have done. It would have kind of kept it all in one bit. But when you have it on a rapid boil, it does it for you. Okay, so now that this has had a second to like dry off, we're gonna place our poached egg right on top of our muffin. And then now we're gonna take our Hollandaise sauce and we are going to put it over the top of our beautiful, look at that. That looks pretty good. All right, and our eggs are done. So we're gonna take this guy out, put him on our paper towel, and this guy out on the paper towel. And then we are gonna take some pepper and some salt. And you guys, Eggs Benedict, look how beautiful that is. That is gonna be fantastic. All right, these eggs are nice and dry. We'll put that on. That one's nice and dry. We'll also put that one on and take that Hollandaise. That's beautiful. Wow. I feel like my eggs were so small, I could have gotten away with putting 2 eggs per muffin, but oh well. You win some, you lose some. Okay, salt and pepper, and I feel like a little pinch of parsley is definitely needed. Parsley, 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 parsley. And you guys, this is definitely a skill that the everyday cook should learn. Look at that. Eggs Benedict. Perfectly poached eggs. Okay, and now comes the moment of truth. Let's cut into it and I'll show you that it is a perfectly poached egg. Okay, here we go. Ready? Ready? Look at this. The goo is coming. Hold on. Look, look. You see that? Look at that. The goo, it is a coming. It is a flowing. Yeah. Perfect yolks. Perfectly poached with no hassle whatsoever. Okay, but we must know if she tastes good. But we know she tastes very good. There's nothing to be afraid of when it comes to Hollandaise and poached eggs. Wow, that Hollandaise sauce is so rich and creamy, but yet it is so good. Oh man, that's really good. Wow, the sauce is so good, I'm drooling even though I'm eating. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So you can definitely taste the lemon in that Hollandaise, and it is so creamy and smooth. It is so divine. And the egg is so perfectly poached. Look at how creamy that hollandaise is. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I nailed it on the first time. I mean, I think I nailed it. Have you ever made hollandaise before? Do you know? Does it look right? It looks right to me. It looks very right. It looks all kinds of right. And yes, I did make a double batch of the hollandaise. I don't think I mentioned that because I have several people to feed today. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here so I can serve these up while they're still warm. But did you enjoy that video? Is this one of those things that you've never tried before, but now maybe seeing an everyday person like me do it and nail it on the first try? I mean, come on. That actually takes the scariness, at least for me, it takes the scariness away from this very elegant upscale meal to an everyday meal. Like you could make this for your whole family in just a couple minutes, and it was not hard. I really enjoyed making it. I will definitely make it again. And this, you guys, is skill number 1 that I feel like as an everyday cook, I needed to know this so that I can further my adventures in the kitchen, because I just poached an egg. That is amazing. All right, you guys, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. This series, it's not gonna be every week, but it is gonna be titled 12 Skills Everyday Cooks Need to Know. This is skill number 1. You can always join me for the other skills. I also do everyday recipes in my air fryer and Instant Pot and kind of all over the place. So if you have any ideas for me, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you on the next skill video, or I'll just see you on the next video. Until next time, you guys, we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye.